Okay, so out for a Flywing flight. Let's assume that you have taken everything out of the box, and the important things are that this has engaged, because there's a button there you use to release it, to put it back in the box. So it's important that you check both sides to make sure that those cannot collapse. Also important that the battery is in, and that it is in the green line is against safe. That means it is locked and in position and it won't slide out. You want to make sure that the green catch is not down on the red and unlocked for sure, because you don't want that falling out during the flight. So we're ready to go. So radio on first. So hold that down, the power button.
Welcome to Fly Sky.
On. Then let's turn on this, the X Wing battery. One click and then hold. Then the third thing to turn on is the goggles. This is done by a long press and then press again. And then you also need to turn on the head tracker, the M button. So that is a quick click and hold. And you'll see the 3 blue LEDs light up to indicate that it is fully charged. It's important that the cable from the head tracker is properly in and connected to the socket on top of the radio. Make sure they are in, because the signal for moving your head is going through that into the transmitter. It's being transmitted to the receiver, to the flight controller, and then to the gimbal. So you will not have any range problems doing it that way. Right, so we're ready to take off. While we're walking back, it is going to be looking for satellites. The flight controller, this is, because the flight controller has got a GPS module connected to it. It needs, well, on my other flight controllers, Matex, Speedy B, you need to have a minimum of 7, so it knows where it is in the world. The next important thing that you do, and you may find, is that the neutral position of your head does not match the neutral position you need in the cockpit. So there's the M button, you give that a quick press. Should be a quick press. No, I lie, it's a long press. So just make sure your head is at neutral position when you do the long press on the M button, and then you will be lined up. At the moment, I'm on the ground vertically, aren't I? So I'm looking up at the sky, but I can look left and right. So I do the arming switch on the left. Propellers start up.
VTOL mode.
I'm in VTOL mode, and then left stick to take off. We're up. And as I said, we need to be at 30 meters or more before it will allow us to transition to flight using plane mode. All right, so we're at 43.6 meters. And I'm just going to ask Nick, my
You're
face
facing away from yourself.
That's
so when you go into flight mode, you're going to fly out towards the front of the field.
cool. Okay, so ready, here we go, switching to plane mode. Nice smooth transition. Now it doesn't matter at this point what position my flight mode, what position the flight mode switch is in. It will always be in cruise. It will default cruise. Now the lovely thing about cruise is this is the beginner mode, so it does these coordinated turns. So what do I mean by coordinated turn? Well, basically I roll with the right stick but then it's automatically also putting in differential thrust. So making the props on the left go faster, the props on the right go slower to achieve a yaw effect to make me achieve the turn. So low altitude warnings
altitude.
when I'm below 30 meters.
Low altitude.
But I'm doing this so it triggers that alarm
Altitude.
so you can hear it and Nick gets a good view.
Low altitude.
Particularly of the lights, the fantastic lights that
Low
you've got on
altitude.
this at the back. And it does turn quite tightly, so look at this. This is a full stick over
Low altitude.
bank and it's maintained about 23
Low
meters.
altitude.
I'm going to come this way, I'm looking to my left. I'm just going to
Low
go to the
altitude.
top of the field and I'm going to do that again.
Low altitude.
Just to show you how aggressively this banks,
altitude.
even in cruise mode.
altitude.
So that is stick full over,
Low altitude.
super stable. Doing that again this way, really easy. Right, now what we can do is switch to stable mode,
Low altitude.
gain a bit of height.
Low altitude.
This time it won't compensate
Stabilized mode.
and do a coordinated
altitude.
turn. So I have to use the left stick as well
Low altitude.
to use the differential thrust between the props on the left and the right, which effectively gives me my yaw control. So banking over to the right, using a little bit of right stick to yaw around as well, doing that a bit more, using a bit more speed,
Low altitude.
and I banked around. Bit more fun flying that
Low
way.
altitude.
Then the next mode is Acro
altitude.
mode. Move the switch
Low altitude.
to the back position and we'll go
Low
into
altitude.
Acro mode.
Low altitude. Low altitude.
Over
Acro
30 meters now. Keeping my finger on the flight mode switch should I get into problems. But I'm focusing on the horizon and making sure my nose is kind of level with it. Making sure that I don't over roll. Again, initiating a roll using a little bit of yaw on the left stick and pulling up as well. Brilliant. All right. Now, of course, the benefit of Acro mode is that we can do some tricks. Now, all I'm going to do, and all I've done so far, is some quite easy loops and rolls. So we're at 20 meters. Let's get
Low
a little
altitude.
bit more height.
Low altitude.
Come over this way a little bit towards Nick.
A
A little bit closer.
bit more.
Good.
Start there, yeah.
Power. Pulling over. Off the power and down. And pretty much the same as you would fly a regular
Low altitude.
fixed wing model. No more complicated than that. But I have to say, in the turns you do really have to focus on all three elements. You do have to use yaw. You've got to focus on your throttle so it doesn't drop the speed too much, because wind plays a factor. So if you get into trouble, just switch it back into cruise mode like I've done there. That is your get out of jail free card.
Cruise mode. Low altitude.
Let's
Low altitude.
go around. I'm at 22% on
Low
my
altitude.
battery, so all I'm going to do show you is a
Low
roll.
altitude.
So I'm just going to bring it around. Switch to Acro mode. And Nick's going to tell me when I'm close enough.
Keep coming.
Acro mode.
Keep coming. Yep.
And all I'm going to do is right stick.
Low altitude.
Whoa,
Low
Need
altitude.
a bit more speed.
bit more speed needed.
More speed.
Low altitude.
Back into cruise mode.
Wind drop now, isn't it?
Low altitude. Cruise mode. Low altitude.
And we'll try that again. Just one more
Low
try.
altitude. Low altitude.
One thing.
Low
I wish I could turn off that low altitude alarm,
Low altitude.
because it doesn't. To me, it doesn't look like I'm that low.
Low altitude.
Right. Okay. Here we go.
Low
Coming up the
altitude.
field again. 40 meters height. Switching to Acro. Nick will give me
Acro
the
mode.
green light.
Go. Yep, go.
Low altitude.
Way better.
Low altitude.
Oh, I'm on the other way.
And back to cruise. Just.
Cruise mode.
I'm sure you'll appreciate any model where you're flying Acro, you've really got to fly it a few times to get a handle on it. It wouldn't be the same with a drone in Acro. They all behave differently, and this X-Wing is no different. But it's going to be fun to try some stunts with it, some different aerobatics, because I'm sure
Low
it's going to have its own unique flight envelope and things that it can do.
Low altitude.
So here we go, coming back. We're in cruise
Low
mode,
altitude.
low altitude, 12 meters, 10
altitude.
meters. Coming level with the windsock, and he's going to tell me
Low
when.
altitude.
Yep.
Low altitude.
And
Low altitude.
it was windy earlier.
VTOL mode.
Oh, got my orientation wrong there. Bringing it closer. We had 15-20 miles an hour of wind earlier, and it was really over on one side. But here's the clue: if the wind was down the strip, it's best to land sideways, because it will be more stable landing that way. Just let it settle above the ground, and then on the left stick, put it down and hold the left stick down and disarm. So to make sure it doesn't tip over, and I have had it tip over once and broken a prop once, it's important that you do hold down the left stick so it is glued down on the ground while you disarm. But I'm just speechless how good this thing is, and it's not boring. You've got to fly it in cruise mode to start off with, to get used to it, get used to the view, get used to the telemetry, and then go to stable mode, a bit more challenging, because you do have to do use the differential thrust to bring you round on the yaw, together with the roll and the pitch, to make sure it stays level with the horizon. And then Acro, where you can do whatever you want, but just be careful that you start off at height, you know, and learn what it does. Maybe even try that line of sight as well to see what it's doing, because sometimes I pulled a loop earlier and Nick was watching, and he said it was like I pulled a cobra, which sounds really cool, but I couldn't see it line of sight, and he could, and we weren't filming at the time.
Low
But
battery.
I'm no doubt this is going to perform some wicked maneuvers as you learn how it flies in that Acro mode, although that is going to have risks, isn't it? But if you've got your finger on the flight mode switch, you can flick it into cruise, or you could flick it back into VTOL, and that should get you out of trouble if you've got reasonable altitude. Anyway, let me just go and collect it. So super exciting product for me, because I've done a lot of projects where I've combined these technologies to give me the in-cockpit FPV experience that I really want from fixed wing models. But to have it in a futuristic design like this, and it all ready to go, all pre-configured, you know, it's got to be worth a premium price that they're asking at the moment. I think it's not expensive. I wouldn't term it that. I think it's a lot of money. But if you want something that's ready to go and does all of this, then is that reasonable? Some will say yes, some will say no. That's always going to be the case. But if you've been in RC as long as I have, and you've paid a lot of money for turbine jets, for composite warbirds, for big engines and stuff like that, I don't think it's a lot of money in the scheme of things. And I've no doubt that Flywing are going to come out with spare parts, and maybe hopefully in the future they're going to come out with an option where you don't need the radio. You can get an Edge TX radio, use your own maybe TX16S, and maybe if you've got your own DJI goggles, then you'll be able to use those. Let's hope, but I don't, at the moment it's just being sold as a complete package. Anyway, link for this in the video description and the pinned comment. Thanks for watching. See you next time on Essential RC. Bye. Brilliant.